Hello and welcome to the debut of Monday Mornings. I'm Poor P. Kamsong. The Election Commission is in hot water after it voted to recount the vote for 31 constituency under the party list system and recount the vote for 16 constituency under the constituencies system yesterday.
I'm Edison Yanturan in World News. Wildfires in Canada are setting hazardous air covering parts of Manhattan, making it the worst air-polluted city in the world. Plus, a record-breaking heat wave in Bangladesh is making life miserable for millions. The breakdown of Dhaka surrounding wetlands and forests in recent decades has left the city with no defense from the heat. And as the climate crisis bites, the situation is only getting worse. But first, what we would do every Monday morning is Starting Point Your World in just 1 minute. People just grab their belongings and flee the wildfire in Canada.
It was very stressful. We were all running around the house to collect our belongings. We tried to grab some food, clothes, medicine.
A popular beachside hotel on Mogadishu's coastline, Friday evenings are usually for families to enjoy a night out. But that all changed when Al-Shabaab fighters stormed this hotel on Lido Beach. Witnesses say they heard gunfire and explosions.
ปี 41 บริษัท ITV จดแจ้งวัตถุประสงค์ว่าทำสื่อก็ทำทีวีออกอากาศมามีเรื่องเอาปี 50 ปิดเฉพาะช่องทีวีเพราะไม่มีคลื่นความถี่แล้วไม่มีช่องทีวีออกแล้วแต่บริษัท ITV ยังอยู่
All that on Monday mornings.
This program is made possible by the Department of Foreign Languages of Bangkok with Ta Ya Yon School.
The Election Commission is in hot water after it voted to recount the vote for 31 constituency under the party list system and recount the vote for 16 constituency under the constituency system yesterday. This decision was made due to the discrepancy with the ballot cards and the number of voters, which were same but did not align with the report vote count. Discrepancy may have impact on the number of votes received by each political party and the ranking of the elected candidate, the report said.
Meanwhile, the Election Commission Chairman Ittipon Bunprakong stated that the investigation into Move Forward leader Pitalim Jalanlat's shareholding in ITV is still under consideration, and no decision has been made yet regarding the formation of the committee to investigate the case.
News on Twitter which suggests that as many as 10 of the Move Forward Party MP-elect would receive the red card for not exercising their right vote in local election was fake, the EC clarified. The EC also warned citizens who share the post that they are subject to legal consequences. Red cards are issued to members of parliament may have violated the electoral law, and once they receive the red card, they cannot contest by the election.
The swearing in for MPs and the voting for House Speaker and the Prime Minister might be moved up by 2 to 3 weeks, according to Pitalim Jalanlat. The parliamentary deliberation on the country's budget would likely happen between August and September, he said.
Pita came out to make a comment on the case, his media shareholding saying he was waiting for information and comment for EC.
He said, I don't know who is behind the attempts to revive ITV, which ceased operations as a media company a long time ago. However, it has no impact on the government formation, and I have already transferred the shares.
มีความพยายามที่จะสกัดกั้นผมทางการเมืองเพราะฉะนั้นถ้าเกิดผมได้ยินอย่างนี้มันแน่นอนแล้วก็ต้องโอนใช่ไหมครับเพราะว่าอดีตกับอนาคตไม่เหมือนกันแน่นอนครับว่าเป็นการโอนเพื่อที่จะป้องกันอนาคตในการฟื้นคืนชีพไอทีนะครับก็คือแม่ตามนี้เลยโอนเพื่อป้องกันว่าในอนาคตจะมีการฟื้นคืนชีพของไอทีวีไม่ว่าจะเป็นเพราะเหตุผลทางธุรกิจของเขาหรือเป็นเพราะเหตุผลทางการเมืองในสกัดกั้นผมเพราะฉะนั้นเราก็ต้องป้องกันความเสี่ยงตรงนี้เพื่อให้เราจัดตั้งรัฐบาลได้สำเร็จในที่สุดนะครับ
But this is another side of the story.
ปี 41 บริษัทไอทีวีจดแจ้งวัตถุประสงค์ว่าทำสื่อก็ทำทีวีออกอากาศมามีเรื่องเอาปี 50 ปิดเฉพาะช่องทีวีเพราะไม่มีขึ้นความถี่แล้วไม่มีช่องทีวีออกแล้วแต่บริษัทไอทีวียังอยู่
คุณหญิงพจมานป้อมเพชร along with her family and เพื่อไทย prime ministerial candidates met for a meal to discuss the return of self-exiled former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra. The Shinawatra family reportedly want Thaksin to postpone his comeback until the new government is formed. They are also concerned about his security as the political situation in July, the month when Thaksin pledged to return, will likely be a chaotic one. The family also reportedly discussed about Paetongtarn Shinawatra Pheu Thai party prime ministerial candidates, agreeing that she should wait for another 5 years to assume the prime minister position, as she is still not mature enough, reports said. Early on Wednesday, Paetongtarn told the media that Thaksin plans to return to Thailand in July, but he is likely to look at several factors before deciding on the exact date.
Meanwhile, the Royal Gazette website published the new regulation of the Correction Department allow jail convicts to seek approval to serve their period of detention outside a prison, effective immediately. The announcement stated that the regulation was being adjusted to suit present circumstances. The new regulation allow convicts to file petition with relevant official, prison governor, director general, minister, or His Majesty the King.
The leader of Pheu Thai party, Chalermphon Srikhai, revealed that his party has assigned the legal team to countersue several petitioners on Thaya Sawatdi for false claims that Pheu Thai intended to deceive the public with their digital wallet policy.
Panat Thasninayot, former Dean of Faculty of Law of Thammasat University, expressed his outrage on his personal Facebook account, stating that Thailand has reached the point where serial petitioners got all media attention. He also criticized certain television for having petitioners on their show to try to destroy conscience of Thai voters.
And now it is time for the word of the week, then our world news.
คำศัพท์วันนี้เสนอคำว่า consideration สะกด consideration แปลว่าการพิจารณาตัวอย่างประโยคเช่น The investigation into move forward leader พิธา ลิ้มเจริญรัตน์ shareholding in ITV is still under consideration การสืบสวนการถือหุ้นของหัวหน้าพรรคก้าวไกลในพิธา ลิ้มเจริญรัตน์อยู่ระหว่างการพิจารณา I am ณัฐพล เกื้อหนุน for Monday Morning
Welcome back. This is World News. Smoke from Canadian wildfires on Thursday affected residents along much of the East Coast, from New York City to Washington, D.C., impacting monuments, stadiums, and restaurants. Doctors warned that young children and people with underlying health conditions were at greatest risk. We have the latest report from Christina Ruffini from CBS Evening News.
Smoke from the Canadian wildfires made an undiplomatic stop in D.C. today, masking monuments, shuttering stadiums, and even forcing the pandas at the National Zoo inside.
And the air quality is bad outside. Staying indoors in well-ventilated places is beneficial.
With air quality in D.C. at hazardous, outdoor dining was taken off the menu, and it was indoor recess for area schools. About 17,000 children in the district suffer from asthma, which Dr. Shilpa Patel says makes them particularly vulnerable.
The small particulate matter and wildfires in particular go really low and deep into the lungs, causing that inflammation, irritation, and airway reactivity that results in an asthma exacerbation.
Tonight, more than 400 wildfires are burning in Canada, polluting the skies over much of the East Coast. Philadelphia is experiencing its worst air quality in 24 years, and state workers in New Jersey were told to come in late.
The scale of this is extraordinary.
The sky over Manhattan looked downright dystopian Wednesday as smog lit up the horizon red, obscuring the iconic skyline. But what a difference a day makes.
I'm Lila Luciano in New York, where the air has cleared a bit. It went from hazardous yesterday to unhealthy today. That means that it could still be dangerous for people with underlying health conditions. That's why the city's giving out free masks to anybody who needs them.
I figure if I wear two, it would be much better for me.
With young children at greater risk, New York City schools switched to remote learning on Friday.
The message is this is not over. We might get a little respite, but I don't want people to let down their guard.
Despite warnings from officials to stay inside, neither rain nor snow nor smog will stop the U.S. Postal Service.
You can visibly see that the air is just not you don't want to breathe it in too much.
Construction sites around the city kept going too.
I'm outside because I need to work, but everybody can stay at home.
And dog walker Monique Benjamin says she's still showing up for her canine clients.
I was wearing a mask for most of my walk with Toby here. I do have asthma, so I do worry about it.
The armed group Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility for a nighttime attack on a beachside hotel in the Somali capital Mogadishu. Police say at least 9 people were killed and 21 people are wounded. A record-breaking heat wave in Bangladesh is making life miserable for millions. The breakdown of Dhaka's surrounding wetlands and forests in recent decades has left the city with no defense from the heat. And the climate crisis bites, the situation is only getting worse. We have the latest report from TRT World's Mohammed Karazaman.
The morning sun, usually a welcome sight as it touches Bangladesh's riverbanks and cropland, these days inspires only dread. For 170 million people in the South Asian nation, sunrise signals the start of another scorching day. Those in the capital Dhaka are particularly vulnerable.
It's very difficult to ride a rickshaw in this hot weather. After a long day of hard work, I stay at night in a rickshaw garage with caterpillars biting me and without electricity for most of the night.
Due to load shedding, there is a problem in my study. I'm taking examinations right now and it's very difficult.
We're in a very tough environment now. When people go out of their homes, they frequently become thirsty on the roads. As a result, people take contaminated water and juice made in open space across the roads. Thus, they're suffering from waterborne diseases like diarrhea. I advise people to carry fresh water or homemade juice to avoid drinking contaminated fluids.
Meteorologists say this is the worst heat wave in the region in 70 years and is the result of the climate crisis, which is changing monsoon patterns in Bangladesh.
Actually, you know that the global warming is the main issue there. Actually, not Bangladesh, also this hit whole India.
Environmentalists say unplanned urbanization and the destruction of surrounding forests and wetlands have made the conditions in Dhaka so much worse.
A lot of unplanned industrial development in and around Dhaka city, and a lot of brick fields are burning fossil fuel like coal and generating heat, and we have more than 1.5 million vehicles on the street, and 1/3 of those vehicles are not complying the Bangladesh emission standard. Even for last 10 years, we are building a number of high-rise buildings, and most of them are made of glass. So those glass-made buildings are actually absorbing a lot of heat.
To protect the city and the whole country, environmentalists are calling for large-scale tree plantation and better preservation of waterways and wetlands.
The mega city Dhaka, which provides a home and livelihood for millions of people, now resembles a big frying pan. Hundreds of thousands of people regularly visit the city too, to conduct business or seek medical treatment, among other things. But now everything has come to a standstill and people are doing what they can to avoid coming here.
Mohammad Kamruzzaman, TRT World, Dhaka, Bangladesh.
This is Monday Mornings. I'm Edison Yancharan and Phumrapi Kamsom. See you next episode. Bye-bye.